Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, a discussion and review podcast focused on the Star Wars universe. I'm your host, Tim VanAutreve. Joining me, as always, Josh the Tosh, internet famous, soccer aficionado, football, Mason.
Hi.
And Jennifer.
It's not football anywhere.
Oh,
it's football.
I thought that's how you pronounced it.
No.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
Where's Max? Oh, we have Gus this time, slapping his lips.
Max is... I think he's going to get kicked out of the podcast.
He makes less sound than Max does.
Gus? No.
Yeah.
Max is going to get kicked out.
Why?
It's just too hard to do it with him. He's getting too, grabby, and he wants attention, and he doesn't just lay there and sleep like he did when he was littler.
Well, that's too bad.
Okay. We're a Star Wars podcast. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. And hey, guess what? It's our 150th episode.
It's like the 153rd episode, but it's 150 in your hearts.
So we decided to do something big for our 150th episode. So we picked a single issue of the Star Wars series from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
To commemorate this amazing anniversary.
Our first episode was a comic book episode.
It's been a tough summer. We haven't done anything special.
Summer just started.
Spring, it's been a tough year. Winter was hard. Spring was hard. Summer's going to be hard. I've got news, though.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I am taking next semester off of school. I hope not. I've been talking about it. I hope you've been paying attention. I'm taking next semester off school, so for about 5.5 months, I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands.
No, you won't. You'll fill it with dusting things.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have a lot of goals. I have so many goals of what I'm going to do in this 5 months, because then once I start back...
Don't do that. Stop doing that.
Defeats the purpose of having the 5-month sabbatical.
The break.
When I start back, I have to go. I can't take another break, and it's 4 straight semesters, and then I graduate. But it's going to be really intense with no break in between them. So I need.
Are you going to forget how to nurse in between now and then?
What do you mean?
Probably.
How to be a nurse?
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be a different type of nurse.
Right, but are you going to forget everything?
Oh, in that 5 months?
Right.
Oh, God, no. No, I won't.
I would. That was the worst part of summer break.
I might forget how to, slot my time out to get my homework done, but...
I would always come back to school and feel like I didn't know anything. I forgot everything.
That all the time. I've never not felt like that.
She does feel like that, and then it makes her miserable, which makes the rest of us miserable. So we are a Star Wars podcast, and we are going to talk about a Star Wars topic.
One of my goals is to podcast more.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll
that's see. A pretty bad goal set because it's so dependent on Tim.
I know, but things were getting really, really stressful, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And Tim's like, do you want to quit the podcast? And I was like, no, I don't. I want to quit school. And so... Here we are.
She chose all of you.
No, I definitely did not want to quit.
Over advancing herself professionally and personally.
This does.
I was like, I don't want to quit doing the thing that is actually fun and gives me enjoyment so that I can just spend more time doing things that make me miserable.
So we're going to get this podcast done relatively quickly.
Tim's in a big hurry.
He's in a big time hurry.
In 30 minutes, I am going downstairs and I am going to bed. So this podcast...
Because even though he'll wake up at 9:45, he's got to be in bed by 10.
I have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I got to go to work.
Oh, man.
That's lame. Okay, so this is Star Wars number 20. It's by Jason Aaron, and art's by Mike Mayhew. This is another one of those...
from the Journals of Ben Kenobi.
Old Ben Kenobi.
And instead of the crawl thing, they always have the stupid half Orabesh with English subtitles.
Yeah, why not just leave the English off?
Right. It looks so stupid.
I think it looks great.
I think it looks ridiculous. They should just have 2 pages.
Right.
Like one with just the Orabesh and then a translation.
They could even put the translation on the last page in a little paragraph, like those old highlights magazines where all the answers would be in the back.
Oh, that would be cooler.
It would. They could just have a little paragraph of text.
It does make me appreciate how similar Aurebesh is to English.
Well, all they did was come up with new characters. They didn't change anything about the language.
Well, they didn't even necessarily come up with new characters. Some of them they just flipped upside down.
Sure, or blockized.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a true language. It's just a method of writing.
Yeah.
Arabic.
Like a T is just
It looks like there's
upside down.
squashed bugs.
Oh, there's probably
that a
a trove of
squash
squash
bug?
bugs over there.
That one is.
Yeah.
That one's a squashed wasp. That one over there is just a twist tie.
Oh.
I found
is
just when I was
disgusting.
turning the air conditioner off how much mold is all over our air conditioner.
Nice.
We live like a bunch of filth bags.
This is disgusting.
Well, we haven't been in the recording studio for like a month,
Yeah.
and the kids keep shutting that door, so all the moisture gets trapped in this room, and the air conditioner runs all the time.
Why does the air conditioner run when nobody's in here for a month?
You never know when a podcast might
That's right. I
break
think
out.
we're going to podcast just any second. Plus, that does legitimately cool off upstairs if the kids leave the doors open. And I don't want our equipment getting all hot.
hot and melty.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, good. Why don't you
Yeah,
tell us what
good.
happened in this?
Good, I said something.
Oh wow,
Oh,
the
it's
firework! It's the
almost
4th of July on
July.
Wednesday, so we live kind of in a little hillbilly heaven. So
There's
there's
a lot of
fireworks
pops
all the
outside.
time.
Hillbilly heaven.
Yeah, it's
you
a
want me
place.
to give the synopsis?
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
try. Okay, so I'd say Luke is probably about 10 to 12.
He's older than that.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like he's almost.
I don't think more than 12 or 13.
I think he's almost old enough to drive.
No way. He looks like a kid.
Well, I mean,
Okay, he's pretty young. And it's on Tatooine, obviously. It starts out with like Uncle Owen coming home and trying to find Luke, and like he's talking to him, but he doesn't realize Luke has run away, and he's apologizing and trying to like offer him some like spare parts that he found. So
he
that
came
they
home
can
with some
build.
Legos.
Yeah, he wanted to build something together to like kind of mend fences because they obviously got in some kind of fight. It doesn't really explain what ever happened, but whatever it was, like Luke ran away, and this is not the first time he's run away, it says. So that just sets the stage for like Uncle Owen being home alone, and meanwhile, Jabba has hired. I can never say his name. Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
Chrysanthemum to he's after.
Well, in the previous Obi-Wan diversion in this comic series, there was a whole plot where some people were trying to attack the Lars moisture farm for some reason. I can't remember the exact reason, and Obi-Wan stopped them. Do you remember that?
Barely.
So this story resumes a year after that, where Jabba is angry
Okay.
that all of his thugs are being, in this area of Tatooine, are being beat up or...
So they know
Stopped.
it's Ben.
Well, they know somebody is there, but they don't know it's Obi-Wan.
Okay, well, I thought they were trying to lure him out by getting the uncle. But anyway, the Black Chrysanthemum is a bounty hunter, and he comes and snatches up Uncle Owen. His wife sees him leave, but she doesn't know what's going on. And then Luke decides to come home, and she tells him to like go and hide and stay there. And she's got a gun, and he's freaked out, but she tells him to go and hide. And of course he doesn't.
Well, he goes and hides exactly where she told him to. That was the whole
Yeah,
the
and
joke.
what's the
The maintenance bay.
yeah, but what is he?
It's his Skyhopper, his
Oh,
T-16
okay.
Skyhopper.
That's what Uncle Owen wanted to work on with them. He got parts for the Skyhopper. But then, so Black Chrysanthemum takes Uncle Owen, and Obi-Wan senses something's wrong, so he comes to save the day. And it's like, he's totally like lost his mojo a little bit. He fights the Wookiee, but like it's clear that he's not as strong, not as fast. But he's trying to fight him without showing that he's a Jedi, and then he ends up dropping his lightsaber, and so he like is really not himself.
He gets his butt kicked.
Yeah, he does. And then at the same time that he's like trying to like save Owen won't run away. He's trying to stay there and protect Obi-Wan because he doesn't know he's a Jedi.
He knows he's a Jedi.
Oh.
He definitely knows he's a Jedi.
Oh, he's trying. The Wookiee doesn't know he's a Jedi.
The Wookiee doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay. So Owen doesn't leave. He still tries to save him. So Owen gets like knocked off a cliff and whatever. So finally Obi-Wan is like using the Force to hold Owen up and trying to save him from falling down to his death. And then he like can't hold him anymore and he really drops him. And then Luke comes in the Skyhopper and saves his uncle. And he doesn't, Luke has no clue about Obi-Wan being there. So they fly home, I'm guessing. And Obi-Wan knocks the Wookiee off of the cliff, but he doesn't. Then he can't find his body, so obviously we know he didn't die.
Well, they show him leaving the world, too.
Yeah, then he leaves, but Obi-Wan didn't see him leave.
Right.
And that is all I can remember.
That's all that happened.
Not much.
It's a little side tale to try and give Obi-Wan something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can make a movie about him that doesn't need to be made.
They stopped all that, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
That's what the rumors are.
There's rumors about everything.
There's rumors that everything shut down because Solo was such a flop in the box office.
Yeah. And then there
That's a
was
real
just as
shame,
many
too.
rumors that said otherwise.
But didn't we like talk about how it was strange that they weren't really marketing the movie well from the beginning? And they were releasing it the same weekend as other huge
Well, like, it was
movies.
2 weeks after
Avengers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the week after Deadpool. And
Yeah, it was very strange and peculiar. We'll never know the whole story, right? But they're not canceling movies at this point, I don't think.
We'll see.
I hope they canceled the Obi-Wan one, if it was ever in development.
Why would you want that?
Because it doesn't need to be made. It's a movie that doesn't need to be made.
So it was
Well,
Solo.
I love Obi-Wan.
Solo gave us his backstory.
Why can't I have a middle story of
Because we
Obi-Wan?
know the middle story.
Well, after this this issue, I don't care what he's been doing. If it's going to be a movie about this kind of stuff.
Well, that's all it can be. What can it be about?
They could make it about anything. Like,
Yeah,
they could
Boba
make
Fett
him
could show
actually
up.
doing something cool.
No. If anybody knew that Obi-Wan was on Tatooine, Vader would find out.
So he leaves Tatooine.
He doesn't leave Tatooine. His whole reason, his
Yeah,
whole
'cause-
existence is to make sure that Luke is okay.
Because Ezra shows up and
Oh
is
my
like, hey,
gosh.
teach me stuff.
No. There's no story needs to be told about Obi-Wan in movie form.
I wish they could do something really cool with him, but this issue wasn't great. It was kind of boring.
What about if they recast with Andy Dwyer?
Recast who?
Obi-Wan, instead of
Why?
doing Ewan McGregor, and they do like an earlier tale.
No. I'm
Like
not.
he
I'm
goes off to some planet to save some
uninterested
alien species.
in hearing anything more about Obi-Wan.
What about his backstory? Where'd he come from?
Obi-Wan?
Where are the Wan Kenobis from?
We don't know. And I don't think it's important. He was never an important character in that way.
What about Yoda?
Don't care.
You don't care where Yoda's from.
No, I don't.
Did you
He's
cared
from a
where Solo
swamp.
was from? Han Solo.
Yeah.
But you didn't care where Yoda's from.
Because there's no real... They've not set up any mysteries from where Yoda's from.
Yoda's 900 years old.
Right.
He's got 900 years worth of stories to tell.
He does. But none of them have been teased. I'm not interested in any of them. If they would have spent... He spent a time telling us a tale of some great mystery he solved on Daxon 13 back when he was 428.
Right, but they could do that.
They could, but they didn't.
I mean, they could still do it.
They didn't
Did you
drop a line like...
Did you read all the Star Wars
it did the
comics?
Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs in A New Hope. If they would have dropped a line in Empire Strikes Back,
I feel like they did.
a tease for Yoda, his only tease is when 900 years old you are. There's no...
I don't even know what his species is, Josh.
It doesn't matter. The character plays a role.
Oh,
Do you think him and Maz Kanata had a relationship?
No.
Did you see the little picture that Max made for Tim for Father's Day?
He didn't make that.
It's his foot. Did you see it?
No, I saw the picture.
They made it at daycare.
Yeah.
It's his foot with green paint, and it's like upside down on this canvas, so like the toes are at the bottom, and then they drew the face and everything of Yoda and his arms and like a staff and everything, and it says Yoda, best dad in the galaxy.
Yeah.
It was
It's
real clever.
amazing.
It was really cute.
It's so adorable.
Yeah. Those
they
people
paint-
you
like
pay
they-
to watch your child are
Yeah.
very
Got paint
creative.
all over his. Yeah, I had to pay for the art supplies.
I
too.
bet you did.
Like separately, you had to give like whatever it was.
No,
Oh,
we
you-
didn't.
yeah, you did.
Art
You-
project
yeah.
stipend.
That was for Teachers Week. That was extra money for
Oh.
their gifts for Teachers Week.
Okay.
Oh, forced gifts.
Yeah.
You must give them a gift.
And they're teachers.
Yeah.
They're teachers. I mean, they don't
mean,
have
what?
teaching degrees, but they take care of children, so they're teachers. So they get teacher in services off and things like
I
that.
hope none of our
Yeah, sorry,
daycare
professionals.
providers.
No, I just
listen to this
didn't. I had
podcast.
no idea. This is our first time like being involved with daycare, like institutional
Institutional daycare. Big
and-
daycare.
big daycare biz. I had no idea that it was like a school from the time they're 6 weeks old. Like they get all the same holidays off. They have teacher in
They
services.
treat it like a school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no idea. So yeah, like during Teachers Week, that's the only time we've had to give extra money for gifts.
But it's a forced gift.
Yes.
Then it's not a gift at all.
Well, they don't force you to do it. They ask you if you would want to give money for this thing.
Whoa!
I didn't have to. They don't like just take the money out of your account. They just ask for donations for teachers.
Did you give him
gifts.
money?
Yeah, it was like $5.
You didn't present it to me as if it was optional.
You don't even remember the conversation. You're just making this up on the spot.
See, I despise forced gifts.
You know what I despise? When somebody in my family buys a big gift and then they ask other people to give them money to go in
Yeah,
on it. Let's
yeah.
make it from all of us.
Yeah.
I already picked it out and put your name on it. I need you to give me $30.
Man, I hope your family doesn't listen to the podcast. It's
I
a very
hope my
specific request
No,
being
like,
outed there.
everybody in my family does it.
It's a family tradition.
It's just, but I just don't like it. If they ask way in advance and say, would you want to do this? Should we order this? But if they already, it's my mom. I'm talking about my mom.
She's not going to listen to the podcast.
She does it. She'll be like, I thought we could all do this thing.
I
And
bought your dad a golf club.
She'll like, yeah, I'm going to get this thing for your dad. I thought you all could help. I need $45 from everyone by tomorrow. Thanks.
That's pretty funny.
That's very forced.
You should say no one time. See what happens.
Oh, she said no a lot.
No, I don't.
Oh. Ugh, she just doesn't tell me.
She'd be so mad.
She'd be so mad at me. Did you see that the Warriors signed?
Yeah, that
Boogie
doesn't
Cousins?
matter. That doesn't matter.
It's insane.
No, it's not.
Boogie.
Yeah, he can ride the pine for another team. Good work.
He's not going to ride the pine.
He'll ride the pine.
If his Achilles tendon gets better, he'll be starting.
No,
Hey, Will.
No.
Who's going to start in his place?
it doesn't matter. A bag of balls. The guy who cleans up the sweat
DeMarcus
stains.
Cousins is awesome.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's a cancer.
What are you guys talking
Ugh.
about?
Basketball.
Not on the Warriors. he's not.
Unnecessary basketball.
Are we done talking about this comic yet?
We haven't really even talked about the comic.
So talk about the comic.
So
You're the one that brought in basketball, not me.
You were talking about Obi-Wan's movie.
Because it's directly tied to this.
There's not even a movie. How can you say it's tied to this?
Because presumably it would take place in the same era as this comic book.
You are presuming that. Yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily anybody else.
Everyone else.
No. The movie could be after Obi-Wan dies. Could be Force Ghost
it could
Obi-Wan.
be Force Ghost Obi-Wan Adventures. A Star Wars story.
this comic, not much happened at all. Obi-Wan seemed kind of lame. He did not seem like the cool
no.
meditating bone floating man from the last
No,
one.
he seemed like a total wuss.
He did,
and
it was so.
He should not be beating up.
It was so. Ugh.
It felt very out of character to me.
I hated seeing him like that.
It's like they tried to prematurely age him.
I think what they're doing, this comic is like an excuse to try and make people interested in Black Chrysanthemum.
Like he's tougher than he is.
Yeah. You beat up Obi-Wan.
Woo.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't
before
interested.
Obi-Wan before they even started fighting, Obi-Wan was already complaining about how he's like lost it. He's already
he was like
prematurely explaining why he's gonna suck.
Here's the line. I was meditating. No, not that part. This part. Atop the cliff, I tried to slow my breathing to hide how winded I was from the climb.
What, do you have COPD now? Have you been just smoking and drinking on Tatooine? Like, why is he so bad at... That's something that a Jedi should never be like... Since when is a Jedi ever like out of breath? Aren't they supposed to be like in complete control of their body, like... and senses and everything?
I don't know.
Oh,
it's very peculiar.
That line killed me. I was like, what?
I thought the art was really good though.
Yeah, and I mean,
it was a realistic style.
I did like the art. It was Luke was like spot on, I think. Like,
because it was traced.
You think it was traced?
Yeah,
no,
anything like that is very traced.
I mean his character.
Like what are they tracing it off of though?
They take like a photo of a person and then they draw over the top of it. Like they ghost it into Photoshop and then they draw over the top.
But what photo of what person? Just a random internet person? Did they Google search?
A lot of times.
Find me a 12-year-old that looks like Mark Hamill. Is that what you think they did?
Yes.
I didn't mean the art was spot on, but I meant his characterization. Like he was the hothead running away, then coming back and being unpredictable and saving the day.
Yeah,
that he was fine. It was like that's the most I've ever seen of Owen's like parenting style, I guess, like or interactions with him.
Get beat up and thrown off cliffs?
No, like how him trying to like come back and like make amends with Luke and like hang out together.
A lot of those guys take pictures of their own family, or they have like people they always use. Like Alex Ross has like a couple guys that he uses that he traces.
It's like this one. He's like, I need a picture of a sullen preteen with a flow haircut.
Dude, you'd be surprised. They just Google stuff. I mean, the hair and stuff can be extra, but like the actual face and the faces they're making, you think that he didn't either Google that or ask his buddy to make that face and take a picture of it?
I don't.
I guarantee you he did that. Guaranteed.
Where are you getting this information?
From a comic book artist that I used to hang out with. He told me all about how a lot of artists do that. He wasn't saying it like necessarily a bad thing, like the Fiona Staples.
Mm-hmm.
She does it hardcore. They like reverse filter something, Photoshop something.
Well, you can do like tessellation lines.
Yeah, they like do stuff like that.
It does the lines for you.
And then they take that and then they draw from that.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
It's not like tracing though. Exactly.
No, it's taking
like
art.
One of those old like coloring books where you have like the paper, like the.
But it's
paper.
No, there's not 37 numbers, and you draw a line in between the numbers.
That's what I thought you meant.
I mean, they do that some, but they also do the other. They take a picture, they digitally manipulate it, and then they make it their own. There is definitely an art to it. I'm not trying to take that away, but
skill. The
reason that it looks so photorealistic is because it is a photo.
Well, you've just really poo-pooed my appreciation for that.
Why?
Because I'm more appreciative of original, not modifying necessarily as much as pure creation. Although nothing really is purely created. because it's all influenced, right? It's hard. It's a gray area.
Everything's gray, like a gray Jedi.
So what rating would you give that comic?
A 6.
5.
That's pretty high. I was gonna say 5.5.
I thought I was gonna give it the lowest.
It just did. Nothing happened. Like
I know. I just really didn't like how Obi-Wan was so out of character and such a wimp.
See,
he's an old wimp.
this Mike Mayhew guy, he's got like a posting he's putting online where he's asking for models for work that he's doing for comic books.
You're looking into this far too much.
I'm just trying to prove my point, I guess.
I believe you. You don't need to prove your point.
The photos are merely reference for my art.
I merely copy and paste them into Photoshop and then draw a couple squiggles on your eyes.
I think there's more to it than that, but
It's very, very artistic process.
all right, enough of the comic. Happy 150th, guys. I'm gonna read a letter. We got a real piece of fan mail, like a physical.
It's more than a
one.
letter too. It's like a, I don't know.
Yeah, hold on, I'll read it. It's part of the whole deal here. He says, this is from Araxis. He says, "Hey, SWNU crew. I stink at writing emails not intended for work. We got this like a year ago, by the way."
Yeah, and there's like
Hold on.
Christmas stamps.
yeah.
Okay, so we got it around Christmas. So I decided to send you all something I'm not completely terrible at. Doodling. I hope this Star Wars art might graciously add some feng shui to your studio. I'm re-listening to some older podcasts because, well, they're enjoyable. Thank you for all the work you put into prepping, recording, and so forth to make an amazing podcast. I look forward to future episodes. Raxus. P.S. Don't tell Mason I used company stationery for personal use unless he jives with that from time to time.
I would always use company stationery for personal use if I had company stationery.
PPS, come on down to Disney, say hi to Boba and all his scoundrel friends. I forgot we were supposed to hang out with Araxis when we were in Disney.
We were way too busy.
And then he drew us this. Look at this.
Doodles.
Wow.
It's like a Star Destroyer. Looks super good.
Is
He
that
traced
a-
these.
TIE fighter?
He clearly traced all
He
of
didn't
these.
trace those.
Is this an A-wing or a B-wing?
What does it look like? What do the wings look like?
X.
All right, so maybe it's an X-wing?
C-wing then?
Yeah.
It's an X-wing?
Yeah.
Good lord. This whole podcast has been for nothing.
I don't pay attention to the ship's shape.
That's why they're called
I know what a
X-wings.
TIE fighter is.
How
I know
could you
what the
not
Star
know what an
Destroyer...
X-Wing? Have you not seen me fly my Lego X-Wing
one right
around the
there.
living room?
That is supposed to be an X-wing?
It is an X-Wing.
Oh my gosh.
Where's the X's?
guys.
It's Poe Dameron's X-Wing. Oh, Josh is getting
Okay,
it out.
so you're telling me that the B-wing has wings that look like bees?
No,
Okay, then why is it called that?
because they just decided to put a letter on it. So that it
Okay,
was...
so it's not always
This
about
was
what
first.
they look.
X-wings were first.
Okay, what does an A-wing look like?
Kind
An
of
A.
like an A if you flip it upside down.
I have an A-Wing.
Here's a Y-wing.
I never knew it had
Look,
a
What letter does this look like?
Not the wing. The wings don't look like a Y.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
Okay,
The
whatever.
A-Wing's down on the second to bottom shelf.
This is really
That's like
cool.
the original A-Wing, I think.
He did a really good job on R2 and BB-8.
Indeed.
Look, it's an A-wing. It looks like an A.
Okay, that does not.
Do you think so?
What is our next thing? Are we gonna do letters?
Yeah.
Well, we only have
4 minutes
2
left.
minutes. Thank you for the drawings. They're really cool.
We gotta find a place to put it next to our 3 posters.
I have we got a solo movie poster for my niece. I'm gonna hang that up too. I need some more thumbtacks. I'm out of them.
There's one down by the coffee pot.
Only 3 to go.
Sweet.
We have a bunch on the desk, I think.
Feedback.
It's really good company stationery too.
Yeah, it is.
Paper seems to be your garden variety Office Max paper, though.
I mailed Yana something today.
Like some clothes she left?
No, I'm not mailing her clothes. She didn't want them. That's it.
They're mine now.
No, I mailed her a birthday card and a present. They were like giving me the different options for shipping, and the most expensive one was like $80-something to ship. Guess how much the gift weighed?
937 pounds.
Less than 5 ounces.
Yeah?
And it was going to be 80-something if I went the more expensive
If you get
route.
like second day air.
How much did it cost to ship?
$14.
Okay. Thank you.
What's funny is it'd probably be cheaper to mail to China and then have China mail it to Germany.
Who do I have in China?
Or Canada. Canada's another weird one.
What's really weird is Nolan was in camp a few weeks ago and he sent a letter to me and to Yana on the same day, and she got hers in Germany before I got mine. Like days before.
Yeah.
Several days. And he was in the same state as me.
You don't think that he forgot? He's like, oh crap. I sent Yana a letter, but I didn't send my mom a letter.
No, because he was only there
I can't. I don't
I
think
checked
he'll be able to survive.
the post office box to make sure.
No, he was only there like in a short time frame, so I know he had to have done it like.
What if the camp was
certain
just
day.
a ruse to cover the fact that he forgot to send you a letter?
I guess we're not going to read a letter.
You can't find it?
I've got it open. It's time for me to go to bed.
Oh, gosh.
This one is a really long one from Nate. He says, I believe this is my first letter to be sent in. The subject is Rebel Season 4, Episodes 10 through 13. But I started listening way back in September 2017. That was when I hurt my knee. Will forever be remembered.
Less than a year ago.
Just been trying to get caught up with what's currently being discussed. I understand if this doesn't get discussed or read for a while since it's dealing with the new Rebels episodes. That's not why I didn't get read. Spoilers, Episode 10, Jedi Knight. Oh my gosh, I knew something big was going to happen, but I didn't expect Kanan to go so soon. I expected them all to go out together in a last stand or final assault, but I liked how they led up to it with the rescue mission for Hera and that Ezra formed the plan and led them into it, building Ezra's character even more and showing how much he has grown in such a short time and setting up that Obi-Wan movie.
Yep.
That was
He's
me.
not.
That was me.
He's
I
off
ad-libbed
with
that.
Thrawn with the Purrgil on the other side of the galaxy.
Also, Hera being drugged in her state. Still being in her drug state when Kanan rescues her was great, but still meaningful, especially since, in my opinion, Kanan knew what was coming. Maybe not exact events, but that in the end, his moment was approaching. Pulling from the Discord chat, I like the theory that Kanan's eyes cleared up due to him finally being clear of mind. But I do wonder if he actually died or became one with the Force right before being consumed by the explosion.
I think he became one with the Force.
Right, but he... Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he had that ability. He was barely trained, and like Obi-Wan, had to sit on Tatooine.
I don't think it necessarily means he knows how to manifest himself. But they've proven that everyone, like, they're all there. No one's ever really gone to him.
Episode 11, Doom. I felt it was a bit of sad, solemn episode, but still had uplifting highlights, like when Sabine and Zeb realized that Kanan completed the mission and crippled the factories on Lothal. I was slightly confused by what was happening with Ezra and the Loth Wolves, enlightened in later episodes, but was curious if the large gray wolf is actually an incarnation of Kanan through the Force, or just the Force playing on Ezra's emotions to get a point across. Sabine and Zeb's fight against Rook seemed a little unnecessary, but I understand why they put it in. Resolve the conflict inside Sabine and Zeb due to Kanan's passing, as well as just showing that they are the better man between them and the Empire. The stone Ezra receives from the wolves was also a point I was super confused until the Mortis trilogy was brought up on Discord.
Man, wait till you catch up on that Mortis trilogy episode.
I'm sure he already has by now. Episode 12, Wolves in a Door. I enjoyed this episode a lot. The fact that the wolves can just travel through space, maybe time, whenever. Originally, I just thought they were able to make the jump across the planet due to the tunnel, just being a passageway, but now it's quite possible that the wolves are the ones that caused the jump. The discovery of even more hidden within the Jedi Temple was amazing, especially since it connects to the Mortis trilogy and Clone Wars. The Minister was also an interesting character, and I think he could possibly be Force sensitive. I think that mainly because who else would be equipped to interpret Jedi Temple findings as well as he seemed to know? Not only that Sabine was hiding something, which was something somewhat obvious, but what she was hiding specifically, a partner. Ezra's interaction with the painting were interesting as well. I thought he would have to do a sequence of hand motions to discover the opening of the temple, but doing a single hand motion to open it and close makes sense after watching Ep 13. Episode 13, A World Between Worlds. I loved this episode. Just the fact that they could travel anywhere in space and time was amazing. I was slightly confused why no one else could enter it, especially since the gate was now open, unless only those who used the Force could enter. But I don't know. Watching Anakin and Ahsoka battle in Sith Temple was awesome, but made me wonder how Anakin survived the collapse of the temple, and if what Ezra did was actually happened, or if he just altered Ahsoka's entire future. Also, how did the Minister know what he was trying to access? I assume he interpreted from the stones that were seen in episode 12, but didn't know if there was any other theories or something I missed. I enjoyed the underlying meaning to the whole point of Ezra being there as well. Kanan teaching him one last lesson about restraint and using wisdom in his actions. At least that's what I pulled from it. Then the Emperor. I was slightly confused where he came from at first since he was still trying to access the portal in episode 12, but I assumed that maybe once Ezra opened the gate on his end, it caused a chain reaction that opened the rest of the gates, like a master key or something. But I read on another site that he achieved access through Sith sorcery. That didn't make sense to me personally. It did make me wonder though, was what Ezra saw previously Kanan really real? Or was it the Emperor's gateway all along and he was just projecting an image to lure Ezra to him? Either way, what the heck was that blue fire?
Sith magic.
Yeah, Sith magic. At first it seemed like it would harm or kill him if they touched it, but then it barely touched Ezra and all of a sudden his foot was wrapped up by some electric cord, apparently called a tendril, and starts pulling Ezra toward the Emperor. Then Ahsoka just into the fire and cuts Ezra free without any harm coming to her. Maybe I misinterpreted this whole scene and just need to watch it again, but that was my first take on it. And then how it ended with the whole temple gone and all the mountains around it seems too was awesome. But where do you think Ahsoka ended up? I thought she went back to the Sith temple, but she had the possibility to also travel through time. When did she appear?
We end up finding out she appeared right after the fight. Like she went back to her own timeline, basically.
How do we find that out?
Well, because when she, at the end of the series, she's aged. When she comes to pick up Sabine to go look for Ezra.
That was in the future.
Right, but it insinuates that she went back into her normal time and aged naturally to reach that point. And we also saw her walking down from the temple at the end of season.
She was like super aged though. I mean, it wasn't that
right,
long.
Because it was pretty long.
Yeah, it was a while because that little kid was bigger.
Yeah.
That kid was
There was the
6,
time gap
something like that, 8.
When Ezra
7.
was growing up and stuff.
I apologize for such a long first email. Why? But got to start somewhere. Congrats to Jen and Tim on their new baby boy Max.
Thanks.
I look forward to hearing your guys' reviews of these episodes and theories about how you think it's all going to end. I'll probably give my lightsaber rating for each. Episode 10, 9 lightsabers. 11, 7.5. 12, 8.5 lightsabers. 13, 9 lightsabers. How come everybody does half lightsabers? I thought I established that was against the rules.
It's against your rule.
Also, go ahead.
I really like those episodes.
Half lightsaber ratings?
I want to watch them again.
Go ahead. Nothing's stopping you.
Okay.
Also, would you guys recommend the new Thrawn and Tarkin books as good Star Wars reads? I enjoyed the Thrawn book.
I thought I enjoyed the Tarkin book.
Yeah, the Tarkin book was pretty good.
They're not where I would start, but they're good.
Yeah, I enjoy both of those. They're actually some of my favorites of the new ones.
I really liked the... I think if I did it, I would just have to read it instead of listen to the Thrawn book because I cannot hear what he is saying. I can't, I have really bad hearing.
I guess.
And that is seriously what he sounds like. I'm like in the car, we were listening to it together, and I'm like, what did he say? Oh my God, I can't hear him.
Yeah, she would get really mad. That's weird, huh?
But then you won't have that hick drawl of Eli Vance go.
Oh, I forgot about him. The faithful assistant.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Signing off. Nate Niehaus.
Can you delete that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I will
It
delete
doesn't,
it.
it doesn't work super well in the Apple app.
That's unfortunate.
It is. You're correct. We are everywhere on the internet. Thanks to the Fantastic Plastics for doing our theme song. Thanks to our podcast networks, Retro Junkies, BenView Network. Thanks to our fans, listeners. Thanks for being patient with us while we're terrible at podcasting. Getting podcasts recorded, rather, because we're so good at it. And I shouldn't say we're terrible. Jenny, you look really nice tonight. You look so good.
Thanks. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I've been wanting to podcast a lot lately.
We we've said it, but not in a podcast. We got our tickets to Star Wars Celebration next year in Chicago.
Yeah, I already bought them.
Yeah. So do we get our hotel yet?
No, we haven't figured out our lodging situation yet.
I want to do a Nerds Unite meetup
Yeah, so
in
get
Chicago.
your planning
Get your butts to Chicago.
for celebration. We're gonna hang out.
We're gonna do something. It might not be Star Wars related.
We're gonna drink some drinks.
I don't know about that.
We might just
Run
go
around the
look
convention.
At the bean.
We can all stand in front of the bean holding hands in a circle.
We all
Don't
wear
promise that.
Star Wars shirts.
I think we should just promise that we're gonna be at celebration, and we could like hang out in a big crowd. And we'll just walk all together.
Walk
like a
together
really
in
don't
slow
wanna do that.
motion.
Yeah,
Like slow
and have
motion
somebody
walk in
video
like a
us.
huge pack.
Yeah.
So I don't think you guys have been involved because neither of you look at Discord. But there's a thing.
Haven't lately. I feel bad.
There's a thing where you can, if you're a podcast or a variety show, you can submit your information.
Yeah, I did that for last celebration.
All right. So they have been working on Discord to come up with the 3 best, because you're supposed to submit 3 episodes.
Ooh.
So they picked our 3 best episodes.
Are they submitting for us? Or
No,
we're
we
doing
have
it?
to submit.
What are
it.
they? What are they? What are they?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go find it.
We'll talk about it in the
It
next
won't take very
episode.
long. It won't take very long.
I'm gonna listen to them.
I'm gonna listen to myself talk.
Yeah, right.
I can't even remember what I said.
There's
I
no
don't
way.
remember anything. One time he
So-
had the podcast on in his car, and it was me talking, and I didn't even know it was me because he had it like sped
She
up.
makes a good point.
She sounds really smart.
I was like,
Who's this dizzy broad?
no,
So
Are you listening to a woman in your car?
no, I didn't say that.
Who's this woman in your car?
there are, I'm gonna have to parse through, but like one of them was our Star Wars Celebration 2017 episode.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it because I talked about
Was
seeing
it because I
Harrison
complained
Ford?
about the line for 45
it's mostly
minutes?
because you complained about the line for 45 minutes.
People really like to hear you complain.
You know what I just remembered that I was meant to do something about? I think Drew said something in Discord about being in town around the time Solo
He
came
sent
out.
an email.
Oh. And I was like, we should get together and hang out.
I got together with him and hung out
Why didn't you say something?
because it was spur of the moment.
Kind of like that party.
I don't. He doesn't have a baby. He was at the same building. He was at our building, so we went to lunch.
Oh.
It wasn't like a
You
big
didn't have,
thing.
like, a
Where'd you go
date
to
night?
lunch? The Indian place?
Aldi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yep.
isn't that
That's
is
right.
that on Knoxville?
Yeah,
No.
it's right by where it's on Pioneer Parkway. It's right by my
Oh.
work.
Well, there's an
And I
Indian-
asked him to go usually about
When was
once
the-
a week.
When was the last time? No.
When's the last time you went to Holly with us?
When was the last time you invited me to Haldi?
Last week?
No.
Yes,
you
it
asked
was.
No.
I said, hey, we're going to Haldi. Anyone want to go?
Oh, I didn't see that message till you'd
Because
already.
you don't look at Messenger anymore.
Well, I do
You only look
sometimes.
at Snapchat. If I Snapchatted it, you'd be right on it.
Actually, I don't listen. I only check that a couple
Do
times
you
a day.
ever go to the Thai place down on Main Street?
I would if it was not down on Main Street.
What about there's an Indian place down on Knoxville towards the bad side.
It's I can't remember what it's
right
called.
next to my office.
It's okay, but it's not.
Just come out to Haldi. You work out there twice a week.
I don't work out there. I have school out there, and I never get a break.
They're slave drivers.
I don't. It's like me and one person in the whole building. And
Well, it's I'm gonna call it cafeteria style light. So you just roll up and it's already done. So you can eat really fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's next to
next to-
Chicago Grill.
Yeah. It's across the street from Jim Maloof. Starbucks.
It's just down the street from your favorite car dealership.
Which one?
Where the soul rests.
All right, that's it. I'm
You
going to
say
bed.
that like I've only had problems with one car. I didn't
If you've
know.
had problems with multiple car dealerships, it might not be the car.
No, I'm just joking. Honda wasn't that bad. Honda was okay.
You hated Honda. You complained about it
I hated their
constantly.
service center because they always acted like. No, I'm not even gonna get into it.
Okay,
I'm not gonna
good.
get into it.
We just
Perfect.
lost 8% of our listeners.
Nope.
The car dealership
This is the part.
branch.
This is the part.
I loved our Honda.
People-
Our Honda was amazing.
I didn't like the transmission on that thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I kept saying that there was something wrong, and they talked to, like, they just
No, there was something wrong.
patronize you,
There
and
was
they act
something
like you're
wrong
an
with that
idiot,
thing.
and they try to, like, make you think, like, you're just being stupid. And
No. It's because you're a female, probably. They're being
yeah,
sexist.
they were super patronizing, and they'd be like, yeah, you know, that just happens when your moms drive around town. Like, you do a lot of in-town driving without stopping, and you get the car hot. It's like, how do you even know I'm a mom? It's not like I brought my kids here.
I mean, you did have a
I had a
minivan.
van. That doesn't mean so only moms can have vans.
Okay.
If I saw a woman in her middle ages in a minivan, I'm going to just assume that she's involved with children
you
in
should keep
some
your
way.
assumptions to yourself if you're speaking to her.
Man.
All right, we're ending it. Josh has coughed his way through his last podcast.
I don't know. So what are we going to do for the next one?
Who knows? We're supposed to record tomorrow. It's Tuesday.
I think we're going to do...
Well, we have the holiday.
It is the Beaver holiday.
Beaver holiday.
That's just my favorite line ever from a cartoon. Where the Simpsons are... I can't remember what the episode is. But Bart and Homer are plotting something. And they have like one of those war maps drawn up. And they're fighting against the beavers. They're plotting their war.
Yeah.
And so they're going to strike on the Beaver holiday. And it's just... it's such a great scene. I'll send you I'm going to find it and make you watch it.
You don't have to make me watch it.
I know. I'll provide you the tools of ease
Okay.
to watch it. It's super funny.
Do you have it
Everyone on the
do you have it
internet.
on your Plex server?
No, I don't. I'm just going to use YouTube.
All right. We got to go. I'm going to bed. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Did you hear that? We're doomed.
This podcast is a part of the BenView Network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at BenViewNetwork.com.